Welcome to our discussion about
Sarah,
the best
Sarah,
fucking
Sarah,
Oh wait. Okay, go ahead. Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Katie. I'm Maddie. I'm Laura.
This is our discussion about The Road by Cormac McCarthy.
Awesome.
Alright, let's start it off. Question 1. How does the man demonstrate his love for his son?
Personally, for me, I think there was a lot of evidence in the text, and I was able to find a lot of quotes that support that the man he's only surviving for his son. One of my quotes was that there were times when he sat watching the boy sleep and he would begin to sob uncontrollably, but it wasn't about death. He didn't want to live, but he had to live for the boy because the boy was all he had.
Yeah. Alright, well, I agree with that. Without his son, I think he probably would have just killed himself, probably, like, right away. And my example was when the guy was he had, like, the knife at the boy's throat, and he shot the guy, so, like, he would do anything for his son. Like, I don't think he wants to kill people, but if it means saving his son's life, like, he's going to.
Yeah, that was part of my evidence, just because, like, you wouldn't normally, like, willingly kill a person, especially, like, the dad seems so, like, genuine and, like, not, like, a mean person, so, like, the fact that he, like, had to go through, like, that measure, like, to kill someone.
Right. Like, it shows a lot.
Do you think that if the boy was never born or he didn't have his son, the man would have died with his wife, or do you think he still would have tried to fight and, like, live on?
I think he would have died with his wife.
Well, if his wife killed herself for the same thing.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering, because I don't think if she had never had the son, I don't know if she would have killed herself so soon, at least. Because, like, she said, I was watching the movie, I can't remember if it was the quote in the book, but I know I was watching the movie, and she was like, my heart was gone the moment he was born. So, like, this sounds bad because that's not what a kid should do, but, like, he took the life out of her, and, like, in a way, he gave her nothing to live for, which is different because he gave the man everything to live for.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, you survive kind of for, like, other people, so, like, if it was just the dad, like, he wouldn't have, like, anything to survive for.
Right.
Like, you survive, like, not only for yourself, but for, like, other people, because you don't want to, like, hurt other people.
Right.
It kind of brings up the question, though, so why did the boy, like, take the life away from his mom? Like, it's usually the opposite. Usually, the parents, especially, like, the mom, because, like, she gave birth to the child, when, like, there's a child, like, they have everything to live for, like, for the kid. Why did the opposite happen?
I think maybe, like, if she was alive when her son was alive, maybe she'd feel guilty. Like, she's, like, watching her son suffer.
So, like, maybe taking away, like, food and resources.
Because that was
for herself.
part of her reason that she said is that, like, she killed herself because she knew bad would come. And maybe that's just, like...
So, like, so she doesn't have to watch the boy suffer.
Right.
That's why it's kind of selfless, but...
Selfish in the same way. It's like a catch-22.
Also, like, besides, like, surviving for other people, there's, like, nothing else to survive for. Like, there's not money, wealth.
Right.
There's, like, nothing else to, like, live for.
Yeah.
So, like, by the boy, like, the boy was, like, all that could, like...
Yeah. Okay, no, I get that. So, you're right, like, he was alive for his son. I kind of took it like he sacrifices his will to survive to the son. Because we do see him in the beginning of the story. Obviously, he's very resourceful. He knows how to live in a world like this. But, like, near the end, I think we discussed it very briefly in class, like, he, like, started, like, getting rid of a lot of things that he maybe, like, shouldn't have, like, the rusted cans. He was like, oh, you can't do that, like, can't. Because a lot of things from the boat he didn't keep, like, he was very picky about them. And I just feel like his passion was passed down to the son, and the son wanted to continue it, if that makes sense.
I
kind
agree.
of like, not like a legacy, but like,
right.
But like, if like your dad goes into like a line of work and he's like the head person, like you're kind of expected to like go after that and follow in his footsteps. So like, I think that's more of like a like just like a humanistic, like we just like do that like with nature. So that's probably like how the boy like he saw his dad was his role model. He saw that, so he like took after.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I was kind of thinking like the boy like was maturing over the whole story because like at the beginning he like trusted his dad completely. He didn't question it. And at the end, well, mostly at the end he started being like, why? Like, how do you know? Like, are you sure? And stuff like that. And I think he was like being more independent and kind of like by the time his dad died, he was like mature. Not like he's like doesn't want his dad to die, but he's like ready.
Yeah, I think that he
Okay.
was being prepared the whole story.
Right. So
All his
that
experience.
asks the questions: how does the relationship with the boy and his father change throughout the story?
I don't think it changed. Like, I disagree with you just because like the boy has always like kind of questioned like the dad, like even in the beginning, he'll like ask like questions where like, do you want like I don't know. He's just like I don't like the questions like he's like asking in the beginning kind of seem very similar to the ones he asked at the very end. I just think he got a little bit more vocal with the story about like expressing his questions. But I think the relationship remained the same for the entire story.
I think it changed, and I think that's just with the nature of the little boy growing up. I don't think it was an intentional, like, I'm losing trust in you, I'm losing faith in you, I'm making the conscious decision because I don't believe what you're saying. I think he just grew up and he was like, I see you're telling me little white lies here and there. Like that we're not gonna die. Like that little boy like has a family. Just like little things that I think would have just like kept the boy going. Versus if the father had told the truth every time to the little boy would have burnt out much faster.
Yeah, like I think he did that to give him hope, to make sure he didn't give up. Like he wasn't doing it just to lie. Like he was trying to keep him happy.
He was pretty burnt out though from the beginning because on like page 144. Just kidding, wrong page number. There's a quote, I forget, it's on here somewhere, but he's saying how like the dad asks if he wants to die, and he's like, I don't care, like I don't care. And so I think he's like been burned out for a while, and like he's like kind of remained like I feel like he just isn't decisive about whether he wants to die or not.
Well, I also see that as him like trusting his dad's decisions. Like if the dad wanted to die, then he would die too. Like I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
This isn't really about the relationship, but I kind of see, like, we were talking about before, the boy maturing. Because, like, in the beginning of the book, he's like, Dad, like, don't go in the house, I'm scared, like, we don't know. But then, like, at the end of the book, he's, like, willingly running off with, like, a strange family. Like, I know that, like, circumstances, like, his dad had just died, but, like, the boy definitely, like matures throughout the book and, like, gains, like, I don't know, I feel like he kind of, like, finds, like in our society today, it would be like classified as like finding yourself, like finding who you really are, and like bringing that back to like the relationship standpoint. Like I feel like it changes from him like maybe not trusting his dad so much in the beginning, like Dad, like I don't trust you, like don't go in there, like you're making a poor choice, and then in the end just being like I trust you, like I. Or like more like I trust myself.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like you also don't really have a choice.
Yeah, I think I think the boy like matured and like he personally matured, but like I think the basis of the relationship stayed the same.
So what makes the relationship so powerful?
Probably just because they only have each other. Like it's just those two on the road. Like they run into Eli and then they run into like, a couple of other people. But if like it was just you and like your dad and like you're making a journey across country, like you're both like suffering immensely. Like times of like suffering usually like brings closer together than usual.
Right.
So I think just like being in a time period like that and being just them, that the relationship is so strong because they've been through like a lot together.
Yeah.
They've almost died together. They've starved together. They've like almost frozen to death together.
Right.
Almost like been like shot or eaten alive together. Just
Right.
all of like the circumstances that they went through, I think has made the relationship so powerful.
Yeah. Also, just because like they've gone through that all together, but like the more time you spend with a person, just like I feel like the closer you get, the more you trust them, the more you can like be yourself, and like the relationship between like a father and a son is like strong to begin with, I feel like, and then like you said, going through all of this just makes it really strong. not breakable.
Right. When I was thinking of this, I was saying that the religious undertones in this story, and I think part of it, when we were doing those like small discussions in class, I was talking with my group, and we were kind of thinking like the man is the boy's religion in a sense, and I think it's vice versa, like the boy is the man's religion. And I think he alludes to that with the fact that he's the father, he is the son, and like the fire is like the Holy Spirit. So it's obvious like connections. I think the boy just like he 100% believed in his father, and I think that's what made it so powerful. Is like when someone does have a religion, they devote everything to it, which I think is just like I think that just shows that that's how powerful it was. If that makes sense. That it's just
Yeah, I think
a religion to them.
Yeah, that's definitely a good connection. Because to some people, their religion is like the strong like keystone in their life.
Yeah.
So, like, I just like agree with everything you said. Because like I had the religion for the discussion, obviously.
Right.
We brought this up a lot.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think played a bigger factor, like experience-wise, or religion-wise? Like, what factor of the two was like the most
What made
significant? Yeah,
the relationship bigger, stronger?
What do you think are like the biggest impacts?
I would say experience. I
I'd
mean,
say
like
experience.
his dad saved his life like multiple times. Like I already brought this up, but when he shot the man for him,
Right.
that was huge. Because I feel like the guy could have easily just killed him, and he always just finding food for him. And then we kind of touched on this already, but like staying alive for him was like saving his life. Because without his dad, I think he would die in like 5 days or something.
Right.
Well, are you trying to ask like the religious undertones, or like having like an actual religion to like follow?
Well, just like Sarah said, how she thinks the relationship is so powerful because like of the religious undertones, and then I was trying to say how I thought it was more powerful because of like experience. So I think like, would you like be more like religious undertones, or would you say more like experience?
I think it's hard to distinguish between the two because I think it's the experiences that led them to like become one another's religion, if that makes sense. Like if they hadn't gone through what they had, you can't say that the relationship wouldn't have been as powerful, but it's a pretty fair statement to say.
Right.
And if they didn't, because obviously like, the man mentions God a couple of times, like he refers to the boy as a god at some point. Like obviously they've had religion as the man has had his religion as his background. So I don't think without one, the other one would have been there, if that makes sense, as in the relationship standpoint. They worked together to form it.
I can see that. I also think that, like, to debate this question, like, it also comes, like, the person who's, like, debating it also has, like, an opinion, just because, like, if you did not grow up in a religious household, you're not going to think that religious undertones had a big impact on it.
Right.
So I think there's, like, a whole personal opinion
Right.
to this as well.
I also like they just play off each other.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So I feel like this kind of leads into the question: what do you think McCarthy is suggesting in the scenes in which the boy begs his father to be merciful to the strangers they encounter on the road? How is the boy able to retain his compassion? Because like Sarah and I were like agreeing that this had to do with like religion. Yeah, I'm trying to like get my thoughts in order, so give me a second.
I am relating it back to religion standpoint because I'm not super well versed in the Bible. I went to Sunday school, but I'm not super like knowledgeable about it. Like I remember everything. But I feel like the word merciful just reminds me of so many scenes in the Bible where like Jesus is merciful to everyone surrounding him. He's just so kind and merciful. And it's stretched to say the boy is a savior in my mind because I don't think you could concisely call him that throughout the story. But I think in those scenes, McCarthy is kind of saying and showing like the reader needs to recognize how strong the boy is in his beliefs and his actions in his relationship, etc. Like everything, like he is a savior.
Yeah, well, I feel like he is using religion to, because like when you think of the boy in this like poor world starving, you think of like a small, skinny, like very bony boy. So, like I think he's using like religion and like just like the religious like aspects to like show that he kind of is a savior. Like he's more than just like a scrawny little boy.
Yeah.
And then like the whole like merciful thing, like as you were saying, Jesus is like was like kind to like everyone, and the boy is always like,
Yeah.
let's help him, let's help
Regardless
him.
of who they are. Yeah.
I think McCarthy. I think that McCarthy did lead in with the boy with Eli by making him like a character of juxtaposition, because Eli was like a prophet, like he looked like a prophet, except he was like an anti-prophet.
Right.
And then you have the boy who at times acts like a savior, didn't really look like the typical savior from the Bible. So I think
Right.
McCarthy was super into just like juxtaposition characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't really like think that.
What else did I add on earlier to what like Sarah and Laura was saying? Like the boy would give up anything for other people, like even like strangers. Like that guy was gonna rob them their whole life.
Yeah.
I was like, no, like don't like. It's kind of like Jesus like dying on the cross for everyone. Like even though they didn't like deserve it at all.
He's just sacrificing
Like
himself.
he knows he has to do it.
Right.
It's mercy.
I found it interesting, and I think it kind of, obviously the boy at this point wasn't begging his father to be merciful, but like when they found the bunker and they found something to eat, the boy wanted to pray, and he prayed and
That's
thanked
so
the
cute.
people who left all the stuff there. I think that shows that, yeah, he's just I don't like that sounds so, but like eternally grateful to everybody, regardless of their life or death, anything of them, and he's always just thankful.
It doesn't matter like who they are or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
So
shining.
This kind of leads into the next question of, do you think the book as a whole showed a positive view on humanity or a negative view on humanity?
I mean, this is kind of the obvious one, but I'm gonna say negative. The scene that like goes to my mind on page 110 is when they walked in that house when the boy was saying like, "Don't go in there."
Right.
And I'm just gonna read the quote because I don't know, it just like really stands out to me. So, huddled against the back wall were naked people, male and female, all trying to hide, shielding their faces with their hands. On the mattress lay a man with his legs gone to the hip, and the stumps had been blackened and burnt. The smell was hideous. Then one by one they turned and blinked in the pitiful light. "Help us," they whispered. "Please help us." Like, that's like, if you ever just see that,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Next level.
that's just showing like cannibalism is like a normal thing in their time. Like that's, I don't know, I would say that's pretty evil to eat other people.
Right.
And like it's stooping really low, and like humanity is like not in a good place if they're like eating other people and being okay with it.
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't know. I guess it's, for their world it's different, but like thinking about our world, like
Right.
if people were just like eating other people, people were just like,
Right. I mean, it is different in their world, but I
Yeah.
think that world being as extreme as I think the world could go, it does show. I think it's both ends of the spectrum. I think it shows how terrible and just inhumane humans can be to others and how ruthless they are. But in scenes like where the boy cares for other people he hasn't met, or where the family takes in the boy at the end, I think it shows that even in times of darkness and despair, we can still rise above and still be our best selves at that point. Like the scenes where the boy, like with Eli, he wanted to share food. Like the dad knew, he's like, if we share food, we're obviously not gonna have food for much longer. We're gonna starve quicker. Like stuff would happen to us a lot quicker that way. But the boy knew that, and he still wanted to. And there was a quote, I don't have it written down, I don't know what page, but the little boy was saying, he's like, I'll remember it much different than you. So that he knew the dad would look back and kind of think that was like, oh, like silly of them to do, sharing the food, but the boy would look back and be happy about it, even though everything's terrible.
yeah, it probably means like a lot to him.
Yeah, like he still found the good in it, which I think,
He's like kind of proud of himself.
right, yeah, I think it should show that
I definitely agree with you on that. And then even if like you relate this back to religion, which is obviously a big factor of the book, in the Garden of Eden, like Adam and Eve, they disobeyed God by having like the apples and like were being tempted by the devil. So even in our world, like terrible things happen.
Yeah.
You know, there's child trafficking, like wars, like child soldiers. There's like a lot of bad things happen in our world. So I think, like that's bad in our world. So I think that's like the normal bad in their world kind of type of thing. So I agree with Sarah in saying that. I think it showed the positive view of humanity because like no matter what happens, like there's gonna be evil in the world. Like religiously, like the religious standpoint, like there can't be a world of all good and like no sinners. So I think that it showed more of the positive view of humanity and just like a couple of the like sins of like their world.
Yeah, I definitely think it was both. Probably more agreeing with Maddie in the sense that it's like bad because you just like know that humanity is like at its worst and its end. Just like with the whole cannibalism. Like I understand that that's like they're evil, but it's just so hard to get over that.
Right.
But then it is also a strong theme of hope in the book, just because the dad's always like, we're the good guys, we can do this. Like, so, I don't know, that's cool.
Humanity is at its end, but I just have to like, I keep going back to Sarah, what she said that just like the amount of good versus evil, like I saw more good as opposed to evil. And like, yes, cannibalism is terrible, but we don't live in that world, so like we don't, you know, like,
yeah.
I feel like, cause like I know there've been times like throughout history where like a plane would crash, and then like to survive, like you'd have to like eat like the dead members, or whatever.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, there's definitely been times in history
so
where
many times where like it was a must, and for like
Yeah.
the people who are eating people, like that's a must to survive. It's like flight or fight, and like they're fighting. It's bad, yes, but that's how like they have to survive.
Yeah, I see it. It's
I get you.
Well, the cannibalism thing also kind of shows the positive aspect that like the boy and the man think that's bad.
Yeah,
That's something that's like, it's interesting to me because the boy was like, he doesn't know anything from the old world. Like the dead world is his world.
Oh, yeah.
And I found it interesting that, I mean, like, we can tell that the man, I don't think eating people would obviously be his first choice. But I think it's interesting that the boy is so strongly rooted in not doing that when he hasn't, like, had the old world to tell him not to, in a sense. Like, I feel like there you can really tell it's his nature that is telling him not to do that thing.
Like, that's good.
I also think that just goes back to like he's learning everything from his dad. His dad's his role model. So like in this case, like his dad thinks it's bad, so the boy's like it has to be bad.
Right.
It's like nature versus nurture, kind of a sense.
Yeah.
And there's also probably a part of him that's like he just like knows it's bad. Like, why would we eat like our like our species? Like
it's weird.
I mean, I was gonna ask if you think there'd ever be a point where the dad would turn to that.
I was gonna ask that, like, if the boy wasn't, I feel like the boy's kind of like his conscience.
Right, that's good.
Like, I don't know. So maybe if the boy didn't act like that, or if the boy wanted to, do you think the dad would, like,
I think
do
so.
that?
Because I'm just, like, it's hard because you know, I feel like the boy is the best qualities of the man because he is younger, he is a little more naive, and the man has obviously seen stuff.
The boy's innocent.
Yeah, the boy's innocent.
It's like pure.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm wondering if the boy wasn't there, or if the boy had agreed to it, or if the boy didn't know if the man like went out when it was at night. Well, I mean, if the boy like didn't know if the man did it at all. Like if the man like snuck out and didn't. Like, I'm wondering what effect that would have on him, the man, like weighing on him.
Well, I think I think the boy's kind of keeping the man sane, keeping him grounded, and like in reality. Because honestly, I think that like if the man didn't have his son, he would probably go crazy.
Well, what if he didn't have a son and just his wife? Do you think it'd be different? Like,
well, before
honestly,
I have like a theory about like the boy. Okay. So I have like a theory that like the man who stole their car and all the belongings. My theory is that like the boy wasn't there telling the man, "Don't kill them, give the clothes back, like help him, let's help him, like I don't care if he's bad or whatever." My theory is that the man would have killed him, and I think he would have eaten him at the same time too, because they were running out of food. That's like my opinion.
No, it's interesting at that because clearly, like, the man, you can tell throughout the story the man's dying. And I think by the end, you can tell he knows he's getting worse as well. So I'm wondering if he would have done that, because, like, he knows that would have kept him much longer.
I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of like a more hardened person because of like the dead world, and I just feel like
Right.
maybe if he wasn't so like negative and so depressed in life, like he like wasn't as sick.
Right.
But that's just my thing. Is like I wouldn't have been surprised if he did that though.
I can see that happening.
I'm wondering, okay, so near the end, like I said before, we see him getting more strict on what to keep, which is odd in that world. Like, you shouldn't really be picky. Like, beggars can be choosers, but he's still, like, scouting and everything. I'm wondering what he thought would happen or wanted to happen to the boy. Because, like, if he's doing these things away and he knew he was going to die, obviously he doesn't need those. But, like, what is he leaving the boy with?
Do you think he's being kind of like selfish? Like, I'm about to die. Like,
Not
Those
intentionally.
right.
I don't think it's intent. I don't think he's even real. I think it's like super like subconscious. Like he doesn't even realize what he's doing. But like just someone like looking like from our standpoint, like reading it and see what happens, we see it as like he is being selfish. But like I think just like subconsciously, he doesn't even like realize what he's doing. Like he just wants to die and like end it so badly that he's not taking into consideration that at the same time he's like hurting his son because he's getting rid of things that his son can use to survive.
Right. And now, okay, I was thinking of it. Did the man know the family was following them? Because he does get more lax near the end. So I'm wondering if he just like, he's like, I need to leave so the new family can take over, or if he really just was being stupid in his actions and like not realizing he was signing the boy up for failure.
Like, yeah, see, this is where it gets like weird because like throughout the story, it's like the dad is like taking such good care of him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
At the end, he's just like whatever, and it's like I'm so confused.
It's such a
now
drastic
because,
change.
Yeah. Why are you like? I understand he's dying. Like maybe there's something weird going on in his head, but like especially from like a father aspect, like I'm dying. I need to plan this out. Like if you did know about the family, you would think that he would like introduce the two and be like, son, it's okay.
That's what I'm.
So like, why is he like?
I'm like stuck on that.
Like he didn't know.
But I'm stuck on it because I'm like when the boy saw the other little boy and he's like, look, Dad, like there's a boy here. The man was like, no, like he has a family, he's safe, etc., etc., and he left him there. And I'm just
so then to leave the boy without.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm interested in if the man truly knew that the boy had a family, or if he was just didn't. If he
want
knew,
the boy,
yeah,
so
he didn't
he
want
was
to take another boy.
Yeah.
And then if the man knew that there was another family out there, and if he knew they were a good family, then why didn't he meet up with them? Or vice versa, because it seemed that the family had been following the man and the boy for a little while.
Yeah, like the man.
Why did they
approach? Which is kind of weird.
That's why I found it interesting. And obviously, like, this is a weird scenario. The boy's father dies, so like obviously you want to like comfort him.
Right.
But like, I also feel like it has something to do with the man in a way. The other something I can't even pinpoint what it is. But I feel like there's something with that new family and something with the man that they couldn't like pat. Like, obviously he's not like a bad guy. He's not a cannibal. He's not this. He's not that. But
Well, how do we know?
that's true.
That's what I was thinking. Like when I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, great! Now they're gonna eat him.
Right.
Why would they take another mouth to feed? And
Right.
I mean, maybe they're just really good people.
But I'm thinking,
I don't
so
like.
also
If they're
the book
scared,
ends
scared.
abruptly. Like what if like
oh yeah,
so like do you think like McCarthy like really ending like that to public discussion like is the boy gonna be eaten, like is like the family gonna provide for him, like so he like left it open for like us to decide what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that was just my first thought.
Yeah.
real quick. I'm thinking if that new family, they knew the man, the original man, they knew he wasn't a cannibal, but I'm wondering if they, in a weird way, still thought he was a bad guy with his actions.
Which
Okay, so the man is so confusing.
The new family.
The family, the new
have names.
family.
I'm
I know.
confused.
The new family. I'm wondering if they thought the man in the wood, the man was a bad guy in a way.
So they're like saving him.
So they're waiting for the man to die so they can save the boy because
Jesus.
right. Well, no. Oh my God. Me and Maddie were talking about. I think that was after the religious discussion. And maybe it was after our discussion. That like that family at the end seems like to be like a savior to the boy, which is so weird because like
Connection.
the boy is a savior to the man.
Jesus
Family
dies, but then
yeah.
he like rises and saves everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No,
So
it was
like,
so,
that
like-
the family was watching the boy all along and like
That's
following. So then like what if they saw the man like getting rid of food and necessities and like not like taking things
And so
and like
they
that's why like
follow.
maybe like that's why like they saved him and like considered the man like bad because like if they were like following like the man and the boy and they saw the man getting rid of like the necessities like they need to survive.
Right.
They're like, what the
Maybe-
heck?
Yeah, maybe they
Let's
thought he was like trying to like
kill
Right,
kill the
right.
boy.
Cause yeah, cause you never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Totally.
That is the truth.
Someone should like write a letter to McCarthy and like explain
I
to explain.
Actually, we
explain.
should.
Cause it is.
Can we?
I want to know. Like I'm very
Obviously, he's an
Because-
author, so he knows what he's doing with editing. It isn't intentional.
Oh yeah, he's doing
Mystery.
that.
hasn't been
So
my favorite book
rude.
personally,
Oh, no.
but at the same time, I'm still kind of intrigued to know.
Yeah, I don't. The book in itself, I find dull, but
Yeah.
the discussions I think are
Give it a
great.
God to me.
There's like if you look really deep into it, like there are things that I want to like learn more about.
She was trying to be like, she was like, cheers.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
It was.
It was the really
We all
bad
saw it
movie.
coming.
But spoiler.
Oh, like, oh wait, can I just tell you the quote? Like,
Yeah.
it was on here. Wait, this isn't the discussion.
Pause.
Were you supposed to hear the quote?